Hi everyone, Anthony Morganti here. I got a new light. In today's video, I'm going to talk about it. I go through lights like crazy. For some reason, I'm very hard on them. I don't take care of them properly. I've gone through several over the past few years, and they always seem to break right when the warranty has expired. So I've been looking for something that's built a little better than the ones I've used previously, and I think I found one. It's the Neewer Q6, and I have to say it's really solid. Now, granted, I haven't used it a lot yet, but I do want to talk to you about it and share with you some of the features about it that I really like. Now, first of all, if you're not familiar with what a monolight is, you probably know what a studio strobe is. And typically, a studio strobe will consist of two parts. It will be the strobe itself, and then a power source for that strobe. It's usually something you just plug into the wall, but on some strobes, they'll have an external battery pack that usually goes on the light stand somewhere. Well, a monolight is all self-contained. You have the strobe itself, but it also has the battery. So the battery is integrated into the strobe head. And with this, it's a lot more portable. So you could go to a park, which I did recently, and you could take photos and you don't have to worry about a power source or a big battery pack that you have to mount onto the light stand. Now, as far as this Neewer light is concerned, I mentioned that I haven't used it a lot. I did have the opportunity to use it for an engagement shoot recently, and I used it as a fill light. What I encountered is there was a very bright background. Unfortunately, the couple whose pictures I was taking, they had a kind of a time frame that was a little earlier in the day, a little bit more early than I would have liked. So we went to this small lake near where I live to take these photos, and the background was very, very bright. Without the strobe, you'll notice that the background is all blown out. Well, with just using the strobe as a fill light, I was able to expose for the background. And because I was able to expose from the background and fill in the light with the Neewer Q6, or fill in the faces of the people with the Neewer Q6, I was able to get a balanced exposure. It made their skin tones look better. It made their eyes glisten. It just made for a better photograph. I had a second photo shoot scheduled, but unfortunately that got rained out. And before I shared any more info with you about the Q6, I wanted to test it a bit more. So my son Joe and his wife Sydney were kind enough to allow me to take some pictures of them. We did go later in the day, but it was equally bright. So I really encountered the same situation. But again, if I didn't use the light, the background was blown out. But when I used the light, I was able to expose for the background, and then I used the light to fill in on the subject, and I was able to get some nice pictures. Now, as far as compatibility is concerned, the Q6 is compatible with Canon, Nikon, Sony, and Fujifilm. You do need a flash trigger that doesn't come with the strobe in order to use it. It is ITTL compatible. It also allows you to shoot manual and stroboscopic as well. If you're not familiar with TTL or ITTL, all that means is you really don't have to worry about setting the power on the strobe or measuring distance or anything like that. Really, you just set the strobe up and it communicates with the camera, and it will throw enough light on the subject to properly expose the subject. So it's a real time saver. One feature I need in my flash is something called rear curtain sync. Now, if you're not familiar with how a flash syncs with the shutter of a camera, typically it's done at the very beginning, meaning as soon as the shutter opens, the flash will immediately fire. In most instances, it doesn't really show any difference where it fires in the exposure unless you're using a longer exposure. For example, if you're using a 1-second exposure and you're using a flash, what will happen is as soon as the shutter opens fully, the flash will fire. Then the shutter stays open for the rest of the duration of the exposure. What happens is if you have something moving through the frame, say you have someone running through the frame from left to right, because the flash fired at the very beginning of the exposure, you'll have that person frozen at the beginning and then blurred afterwards. With rear curtain sync, the flash won't fire till the end. So if you have that same person running through the scene left to right, what will happen is they'll be blurred, and then the flash will fire, and then they'll be frozen. And it helps to like communicate motion a little more realistically when you have rear curtain sync. And there are some things that I do where I need rear curtain sync, and that's another reason why I like this flash. Another thing that most of us require of a flash is that it has a stable color temperature. The color temperature of the flash is 5,700 Kelvin, and it seems to be consistent through shots, meaning if you're taking shot after shot after shot on some cheaper flashes, it will tend to drift in color temperature, and you'll have one image that might be a little cool and another image a little warm, and then another image that is perfect. Well, again, I haven't used the Q6 a lot, but it seems to be keeping a consistent color temperature throughout each shot, and that is a real time saver in post-production. Some other features of the Q6 is that it has 5 groups, A, B, C, D, and E, and 32 channels. It fully supports TTL up to distances of 100 meters or 328 feet. It also has a masking function so that you could expose the foreground and the background independently of one another. It has a 30-watt bicolor LED modeling lamp, and it has a Bowens mount. And I should talk about the battery a little more. It's a 28.8 volt, 3000 milliamp hour battery. And I got to tell you, I used this twice. I charged it once and it's still showing full charge. So I expect to be able to use this for a long time between charges, which is another thing that really is useful, because some of the other previous monolites I had, I'd use them for one photo shoot, and by the end of the photo shoot the battery was dying, and I had to buy an extra battery just so that I could extend the photo shoot. Well, I don't think I'll need to do it with this monolite. The flash uses a Bowens mount, which is a very common mount, so you should be able to find all types of soft boxes, octaboxes like I have, strip boxes, all types of light modifications, accessories will be available to you because it uses such a common mount. The flash comes in this carrying case. You can see everything fits in there really nicely, and I gotta say the only downside I've found so far, now granted I still haven't used it quite a lot, is that it is very heavy. It weighs almost 7 pounds, which is quite a bit. So you can't use one of those cheap light stands that you pick up from Amazon. You're going to need something a little bit beefy that will be able to hold up at least a 7-pound light, and probably even more when you put a softbox on it and you have to worry about the wind blowing it over. So you're going to need something that is really sturdy. Other than the weight though, I found so far that it's been working great, and I anticipate using it for years. In a future video, I'm thinking of demonstrating how I use rear curtain sync with the flash. If you're interested in seeing that, let me know in the comments below. Also, if you're interested in me doing any videos with this flash, showing any of its features, let me know and I'll see if I could do them. Thank you everyone who watches my videos. I really do appreciate it. I'll talk to you guys soon.